The woke fail that was Batwoman was finally canceled after 3 miserable seasons. It shouldn't have got a second season. It certainly shouldn't have got a third season. It was an absolute and complete mess. The writing was terrible. The acting was cringe. All in all, it was a typical CW show. But somehow, even though it was canceled, it's still the gift that won't stop giving, because the Batwoman writers are here to remind you that you shouldn't say anything bad about it. You should just say positive things about it because of all the steps it took for Black queer women. Maybe the fact that that's all you care about, that that's all you cared about when writing this show, when making this show, when casting this show, maybe that's why it failed so badly. Batwoman Writers Room gets savage after they claim the CW's Batwoman should only receive positive feedback because of strides for representation for queer Black women. The Batwoman Writers Room took to Twitter to declare the now canceled Batwoman show on the CW should only be receiving positive feedback because it made strides for representation. Comments. This is from the Batwoman Writers Room. Aren't you guys out of a fucking job? Maybe you should stop talking. Comments trying to detract and deflect from the impact, safety, representation, happiness, and hope that Batwoman brought Black women can be seen to the door and left behind. It's 2022. Be better. Just from whoever's writing this tweet, it's clear why the writing for this show was such absolute utter dog shit. These people are ridiculously stupid. In a follow-up tweet, they added this: calling a show that made strides for representation for queer Black women anything but positive is an attempt to change the narrative. And it's time we stop letting those who don't matter have the stage. Let the Black women have the floor. There's a little bit to break apart here, okay? Calling a show that made strides for representation for queer Black women anything but positive is an attempt to change the narrative. So you're saying that because this show gave a few jobs to gay Black females, that you're only allowed to say positive things about it? What about the fact that no one watched it? What about the fact that the ratings were horrendous? What about the fact that no one thought the acting was good? What about the fact that you couldn't garner any interest for this? None of that can be mentioned. You can only talk positives about queer Black women representation. Isn't that interesting? This sentence here is, I think, where they really go full mask off. It's time we stop letting those who don't matter have the stage. You mean white people? You mean white men? That's what you're talking about right now. And it's clear from your follow-up. Let the Black women have the floor. If you are white, they fucking hate you. How many times do we have to talk about this? How many times in entertainment, in Hollywood, anywhere, does that have to be known? If you are white, if you are straight, and especially if you're a straight white male, they hate you. They want you gone. They don't want you to have shows. They don't want you to have entertainment. They want all of it to be focused around this. Well, a lot of people, let them know exactly how they feel, including heel versus babyface. Your show was dog shit. The stories were garbage. Representation is no substitute to good storytelling, and to hide behind it shows your cowardice and your inability to take any responsibility. You were lucky to get 3 seasons. You didn't even deserve 1. Nina Infinity, a diverse female. You have never had all the representation, or you can never, it says, hold on. You can have all the representation you want. It will never substitute for bad writing and a shit character. In fact, you did your representation a disservice with your trash script. The blame is on you. Fat Steven Seagal, diversity in body shape. Strides in good writing need to be coherent and respectable. Batwoman lacked both. Some of the lines in filming were horrendous, stereotyped, disrespectfully, and agenda-filled. Criticism of those points isn't hate, abuse, or harassment. It means the viewers saw flaws. Grow up. They got destroyed, and rightfully so, because what they said, especially that second part of it, only Black women should be allowed to speak about this. That is insane. This is why the show failed. This is why CW has never made any money in its history, because they're so focused on diversity and representation that they prioritize those things ahead of good storytelling. This is what happens. No one watches, and you try to blame all of the negativity on racism or bigotry, when in fact, you're just producing garbage content. Batwoman, thankfully, is gone, but the Batwoman writers are still out here to get abused once again by all the people that actually have criticism for them. Thanks for watching, everyone. and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.